very good traction and a really stable platform that's working well in those accounts. Between those two programs, our RHA filler line and our HintMD platform, we're in roughly 1,000 accounts as we exit 2020. Moving on to slide 9, as we move into 2021, we look to continue to kind of build out these different franchises, our Revance Aesthetics franchise and our Therapeutics franchise. Of note, in 2021 on the aesthetic franchise side is we expect the approval of our neuromodulator, daxibotulinumtoxinA for injection for the treatment of glabellar lines. We were anticipating approval on November 25th of last year as part of our PDUFA date, but we were notified by the agency that due to the inability to travel as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, that they were unable to complete the inspection. They did not indicate that there are any other open items, and so we did not receive a CRL. It was a pure deferment. So we remain ready and are anxious to support that inspection as soon as they're able to travel. We also talked about on our HintMD platform that we'll have a next generation software upgrade, which will include it's called a PayFac or payment facilitator. This is going to allow us to much more seamlessly unlock some of the different features around subscription services and white label loyalty and data analytics. So we're excited about that. And then our partner Teoxane in Switzerland, is recently filed RHA1 for perioral lines. We expect the approval of that in the second half of 2021. So again, this focus on innovation and new products that we're bringing into the market. On the therapeutics front, as I mentioned earlier, we expect to report out the Juniper phase 2 results. That's for upper limb spasticity in Q1 of this year. And then we'll also report out the Aspen or cervical dystonia open label safety study results, which will be in the second half of 2021. So again, another year for us of a lot of important data readouts and milestones. Let me talk a little bit more specifically about the innovation behind some of these different products. So if you now go to slide 11, and let me focus a little bit on our neuromodulator, daxibotulinumtoxinA for injection. The path to here was certainly not straightforward. The company spent the last 20 years investing in this innovative technology, originally as a topical formulation, and then moving to an injectable formulation. But that journey ultimately led to the current product as it is today, where they've combined a refined neuromodulator product with a peptide, and the combination of those is proven to deliver high response rates, long duration of effect, and frankly has the ability, once approved, to represent kind of the first true meaningful innovation in the category in over 30 years. And we've seen the results from the trial consistently replicated across our aesthetics trials with our phase 3 Sakura program in glabellar lines, along in our recently reported out phase 3 studies or phase 3 study in cervical dystonia. Also notable is we manufacture our product in the United States, so we make both our drug product and our drug substance at our facility in Newark, California. Turning to slide 12, we also feel very fortunate that we're able to acquire or to license in the latest innovation on HA technology fillers. We launched the products in September of 2020. The first and only FDA-approved hyaluronic acid fillers for the correction of dynamic wrinkles and folds. It's the latest innovative technology in Europe as well, which is where it came from. And what's unique about the product is that they've been able, through a novel manufacturing process called preserved network technology, to preserve the long strand hyaluronic acid chains, which mimics the natural HA that's found in the skin. And so the physicians that have used the product talk about sort of how natural it feels and the fact that they don't see as much swelling, easy to inject. So we're really pleased with how the initial launch is going. Turning to slide 13, we've got a broad and balanced pipeline. If you look across our aesthetics and our therapeutics programs, again, we've talked about the pending approval for our neuromodulator product in the treatment of glabellar lines. We've also done phase 2 studies to look at it in forehead lines, lateral canthal lines or crow's feet, along with upper facial lines. We're in the market today with RHA 2, 3, and 4, so we already have a nice broad portfolio of hyaluronic acid fillers, but we do look forward to bringing in the RHA 1 product once that's approved as well, as it will treat sort of fine lines and wrinkles around the mouth. On the therapeutic side, I talked earlier about where we are with our cervical dystonia program. We're looking forward to completing the open label safety study, reporting out those results, as that will form the basis for our first approval in the therapeutic category, and then reporting out our upper limb spasticity phase 2 results in Q1 of this year. And then we continue to make really good progress with our partner Viatris on the biosimilar to Botox. The company, again, did a lot of work on a topical formulation, so we still have that as something that we might look to invest in and bring forward over time. I'd like to now shift over to slide 15. We focused a lot this year on building out our aesthetics platform, and we're doing that through kind of a fully branded effort around Revance Aesthetics, or RA. And within sort of this platform, we have the RHA collection of dermal fillers, the HintMD FinTech platform, and then our neuromodulator once approved. We also sort of branded our Preview program, which is our early experience program with thought leaders across the country, and then our Revance U, which is our training and education platform that we'll continue to invest in and bolster over time. Moving over to slide 16, again, most of our efforts today have been focused on upper facial lines for aesthetic treatments in our aesthetic platform. The furthest advanced is our glabellar lines program, where we completed the Sakura 1, 2, and 3 programs, enrolled over 4,400 patients as part of that. It's the largest glabellar line program ever. And we saw in the trial results there, at least a 24-week duration as measured across multiple secondary endpoints. And that was what formed the basis for our BLA submission and initial PDUFA date of November 25th. We also were very encouraged by the results that we saw in the phase 2 programs for forehead lines and lateral canthal lines or crow's feet. In sort of the dose ranging work that we did in those phase 2 studies, we saw that at least one of the doses showed 100% efficacy at week 4, and that duration was sort of 24 to 27 weeks, so very consistent with what we saw in our glabellar lines program. We then used sort of that dose ranging information to inform the upper facial lines phase 2 program that we did. We recently reported that out in December. Again, we saw very encouraging efficacy results, 92% at week 4, and the median time to return to baseline in responders was at least 33 weeks. So again, a very consistent performance profile that we're seeing across different facial lines. Turning to slide 17, you can see some of the pictures that are representative of our Sakura program, where you see kind of at baseline what the patient looks like at the primary endpoint, which was week 4. Adverse events were very much in line and consistent with what typically you would see with neuromodulator products. And then again, we saw a really nice duration of effect that was out to 24 weeks. Moving on to slide 18. Well, it's always hard to do cross-trial comparisons. What we are showing here are the results in the top Kaplan-Meier curve